Hey guys, alright, today we're going to be looking at the HG-2 plugin, but it's a black box HG-2 plugin by Plugin Alliance. And this is really new. I think they announced it at NAMM. And basically, it's modeled on the original black box, which, if you guys don't know, was kind of like a summing box where it'd basically, you'd run your signal through there and get a bit of that analog sort of warmth that we usually attribute to old gear and things like that. And it had tubes in it and things like that, so it just, you could dial it in and out and get the right sort of tone that you were looking for. And so it's great for this day and age where we're all in the box. I know, before you guys wonder and ask, oh well, don't we have a lot of things that do this? Yes, there are a lot of saturation plugins out there, and yes, there are a lot of compressors and EQs that are modeled in analog gear, which do give you harmonic distortion. And so you'd be right in thinking that that does a similar type thing. But what this is really, I think the difference is that this is dedicated just to giving you that sound. And from what I've seen in the demo, they have guys like Dave Pensado and people like that talking about how amazing it is and what a faithful emulation they've actually come up with here. And besides just people talking about it, it's you can imagine if they wanted to do it justice, they'd have to go through and model the whole thing perfectly and give you that original black box sound. So that's what I'm hoping for. Let's give it a listen, and let me just tell you what I've got here. I've got a multi-track session from the Cambridge library, so go check them out if you ever want any multi-tracks. And I've got it bypassed on all my buses and on the master bypassed. And we're going to go through and we're going to listen to some elements of the mix, and we're going to hear how they could benefit from a little bit of the saturation that this imparts. And guys, by the way, if you've checked out their demo, don't think this is going to be nothing new. What I'm going to be doing here is pushing the plugin. They just show it what it would be like in the mix, which is great, but I want to show you what that saturation actually sounds like when pushed, and then dial it back down again so that it fits into the mix. So let's just get started. I'm going to start by soloing. Well, let me play the whole song without anything on it, so you can get an idea, about the song, the genre, what it sounds like, that sort of thing. Okay, so it's a cool kind of like hard rock type song. And guys, please, forgive any of the underruns you hear. My system when I'm doing these videos slows down a bit, and I tend to get a little bit of those. But try ignore them if you can. Okay, so that's what the song sounds like. I'm going to go ahead and solo the vocals. And this is without it, just with its bypass, so this is just in the vocals on its own.
Come and go, you don't deny.
I'm going to bring it in.
Don't you know you
Take it out
might be right on time.
So you can hear straight away the way that's just giving you that gentle harmonic distortion around the sort of transients and things like that. It's just very, very nice. Now this is probably the way I'd use it in the mix, where it's very gentle. But I'm going to go ahead and crank it for you guys so you can hear, exactly what it sounds like.
I might be right on time. Can't you hear? I hear. Then he come around again. Then he come around again.
So you heard what it sounded like there pushed. It's really nice. It's not like a lot of saturations and distortion plugins and things where it really breaks up in a nasty digital way around the tops there. It really seems to smooth it over and keep it gentle, which is really, really nice. Okay, so that's a vocal. I'm going to leave it about there as it is. Now, I'm not going to do some of the boring buses like the backing vocals and things like that. I'm going to jump straight to the really fun one, which is the drums. So I'm going to solo those, play it without it. It's drums and bass, by the way. Okay, now let's bring it in. That's just beautiful. And you'll notice I've also brought the saturation, the extra tube in, and just brought that up a bit, because with drums you can always go a bit harder. I'm going to show you what it's like to saturate it a bit further. It's obviously a bit harsh when I go all the way up there, but at the same time, imagine you could really use that for something else, purpose, where you really want to go hard like that. But that's wonderful. All right, now what I'm going to do, which is a really fun one, is I'm going to take it off the drum bass here, and if I'm not mistaken, I've taken it off the. No, let me just bypass on the vocals as well, and it's bypassing everything else. Now this is where it's going to be really fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come from the bottom here on each bus, and I'm going to bring it in. And you're gonna hear it playing. You're gonna hear it playing as the buses accumulate and build up and come in, and you're gonna hear how it gels the mix together. So let's go ahead, listen to it all without it. Sorry, the drum bass is still soloed. 1 second. There we go. I'm going to start bringing them in. Don't you know? Fantastic. When it comes, by the time I reach this lead vocal, it just completely night and day, and it all just it's just bundled together so nicely with it. It's just fantastic. Now again, I'm overdoing it on some parts. You saw me how I was doing that, and so it is a bit much. But let's go ahead now. One more interesting thing before I go. Let's go ahead and listen to it on the master bus. Keep it in on all the other buses, but on my 2 bus, just go ahead and bring it in. So it's first bypass now. I'm going to bring it in. Again, just adding that lovely sort of creamy saturation, and I say creamy because again, it's not that harsh digital sound. I know it's a weird descriptor, but all right. I hope that's given you a nice audio demo of it. I've been told by a lot of the guys who subscribers and the guys who watch my videos that I talk too much in the beginning of the videos, and they want to just jump to the demo sound. So that's what I've done on this video. And instead of going through, I'd often go through the specs of the unit and things like that. I think I'm going to cut back on that a bit. If you guys ever want me to talk more about, this is a parallel saturation and the 2 different types of tubes. It's a 12A X7 tube here, and there's 6U8As and these other ones. And if you want me to go in that kind of stuff, and just let me know, and I'll start trying to work out a balance where I give you both, and you still get all the audio demoing and stuff like that. All right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like my videos, and be sure to come back and check them out. I know I've got a couple more coming out next week. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a good one.